who of us thought we would be wearing masks? Who of us thought that we would ever say social distancing as many times a day as we do?
When the campus closed, we continued to identify ways to provide resources to our faculty and to ensure our students were successful. Our frontline workers kept the building open, managed regular operating hours so our students had access to materials and computers and Wi-Fi. Our facilities and systems department checked out hundreds of laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots for students who either didn't own a computer or have access to reliable internet at home.
We needed a central location for both the faculty and students to go find that information, so we developed the Teach Anywhere and Learn Anywhere websites. And as information started coming in, it was update after update. Actually, about every 15 minutes there'd be a change.
I was kind of struggling with figuring out how I was going to manage all of this new homework and all of these classes going online when I was so used to having that in-person support. I'm very much the type of person where an in-person lecture is how I learn best. And the pass-fail system kind of not necessarily gave me an out, but gave me an option to escape, for lack of better words, on the days where I felt like I couldn't get out of bed and I needed to focus on my mental health. It gave me the option to do so. I was able to spend less time worrying about what are my grades going to look like and more time worrying about, am I retaining the information?
We have to remember that online courses are not always the first choice for all students. With the sudden pivot to a virtual learning environment, there's many things that I had to do as an instructor, including making sure that the engagement was going to be there.
We weren't sure the solutions that we were proposing our faculty would be comfortable or not. We were blessed with an awesome faculty. Each one of them have pushed beyond their boundaries, their comfort zone in terms of technology, to go to that extra mile for our students.
Prior to the pandemic, we provided live proctored, secure online testing in the Sage Hall Computer-Based Testing Center. That couldn't happen during the pandemic, so we had to pivot to providing the same sort of services via online technology.
So I expected the transition online from in-person to online to be really challenging, but Dr. Clayton and my other professors in spring semester of this year, they made it seem as if it was super easy. They made themselves very available to us day and night even.
In the fashion design program, the traditional experience at the end of the semester for seniors is the fabulous fashion runway show. And because of various constraints, we had already internally been preparing for alternative modes of presentation. The students had concerns, and we wanted to be able to actively respond to their concerns. They also wanted to make sure that they met the finish line. We increased their FaceTime opportunities through Zoom access for virtual office hours, and then a lot of one-on-one individualized troubleshooting, if you will.
UNT received about $14.5 million through the CARES Act to distribute to our students through emergency grants and aid. To date, we've awarded over $12 million to students, mostly from the CARES Act, but also from institutional funds and generous donations through advancement. We have assisted over 14,000 students. It's about keeping students enrolled, helping them keep up with their lives, helping them persist towards their degree.
Well, when COVID hit, at first, I wasn't really worried, but then my dad lost his job, and then I started to worry about my job here at UNT, because I still had payments due, probably in the next month, and then I heard about the CARES Act. I applied, and luckily, I got some money to help pay for my dues so I can stay in school.
Once the pandemic really kicked into high gear, the president formed the 5 advisory groups, and I'm the co-chair of the Safety and Incident Management one. We immediately had the group meeting twice a week. It was very clear that we needed to be ready and available to support the other advisory committees, as well as the institution as we work through the pandemic and making sure that the community is as safe as possible.
We identified a need from the health system of UNT for developing ventilator splitters. This device is able to multiply the power of the ventilators so that more patients are able to receive the oxygen from the same ventilator at the same time. So we came with this solution in 15 days with the aid of one of our PhD students and the lab technician.
I'm really proud of the work that's been done, not only by my team, but all the teams across campus to get to where we are today. Now we're in it, and we are working through every day to make sure that we can keep our campus open, keep our students and faculty and staff safe, and I'm looking forward to continuing all that work so that we can make this as normal of a semester as possible and meet people's needs and expectations, all while remaining safe and socially distant and doing all the things that we're supposed to do.
So in order to meet the 6-foot social distancing guidelines for campus, we had to go out into approximately 400 different classrooms on campus, field measure every single one of them. We've put up about 7,000 do not perch stickers. We have moved approximately 4,000 to 5,000 chairs. We've moved approximately 2,000 tables. We've been in almost 400 classrooms on campus. We have, I think I calculated it, about 150 rolls of tape, which I wish I had the footage of how many feet that was, because it's a massive amount.
Now instead of just going in, sweeping, cleaning the boards and doing the classrooms, now you have to disinfect on a nightly basis. I've been here 39 years. We go through the flu season every year. We went through H1N1, but this is completely different from anything that we've ever had to deal with. But I think as a team, we're prepared and willing to do whatever it takes in order to get the job done.
The world's in a pandemic, but we don't do crisis food service. When you come in to eat in a dining hall or when you eat in retail, it's our jobs to make sure that mealtime is a happy time, and so that's what we aim to do. Make sure that we were providing the best food possible. We had to adjust our service style, obviously, but at the end of the day, we're a service organization. We're trying to make the best out of it and make sure that the guests and the customers at UNT and all the students, faculty, and staff are taken care of.
I pretty much have always tried my best to help parents I'm a very detailed person. With them not being able to come on campus and actually view the rooms themselves, I took it upon myself, along with some of my other coworkers, to make YouTube videos of the room so that they can get that experience of how it is to live in that hall and what exactly that hall is.
We had daily staff meetings on Zoom just to keep everybody up to date on announcements. We started off with the Mean Green Fridays, so everybody would still wear green on Fridays. And then it kind of evolved into what kind of things can we do to make this a little more exciting, make it feel like you're in the office, create a little excitement and energy with the staff.
I think it's so important for us to connect, no matter if we're in the office or, working from home or whatever, because that's who we were made to be, relational people.
I think the important thing for me that I've taken away from this experience is whether you're talking to your coworkers or to students or to your family or friends, everyone is just trying to do the best they can right now. And some people have good days and bad days, but I think as long as we continue to be graceful with each other, that we will all get through this, and hopefully we'll learn some valuable professional and life lessons and come out of this even better than we were before.
So, to be a UNT student, I'm not going to say that the last 6 months was easy by any means. It was very difficult. On top of COVID, there was other trials and tribulations in my life that I had to deal with personally that took me by surprise. To be a UNT student in a moment of COVID, it kind of makes me feel like I have strength to get through.
And our new normal is going to require us as an institution and as people to really be nimble and continue coming together to think of how can we best help our students, how can we make UNT continue to shine as the caring institution that we all know that it is. It's definitely new, it's definitely unique, and I think we're up to the task.